What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for December 31st, 2022. Well, we made it. It is officially the end of 2022. It's been a pretty good year, I think, for Philly sports as well as this podcast just in general. So thank you for your continued support. Quick Sixers update. They got blitzed yesterday by the Pelicans. I think it was 127. Let me check real quick. 127, 116. And, I mean, it was the Maxey return. Joe had a good game. So did Hart. I mean, they're the best team in the West. And C.J. McCollum was like red hot. Zion had 36. He's a beast. So, I mean, you don't want to make a habit out of that, but it's not necessarily the worst thing to necessarily lose that game. But man, they're a good team. So hopefully they can rebound. They have a 2-game losing streak now, so hopefully going into 2023 they can do that. But again, I mean, those are teams you only face 2 times a year. They're a very good team. You're on the road, and I mean, dude hit 11 3-pointers. There's not much. I mean, that's out of control. So not a good loss, but I'm not stressing that much about it because it was Tyrese's first game back, trying to figure back out that rotation. So again, not good, but they're a damn good team. Quick Eagles Saints injury update. Jalen Hurts is listed as doubtful. And again, I can't figure this out, whether it's gamesmanship by Sirianni or what, but he's not ruling him out. He was practicing more yesterday than what he did. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think you're going to see him play, but with this team, you never know. I do think I think they're going to be okay either way, but you never know. Like I said, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson is not off of the injured list, so he won't be playing, which, again, is fine. A lacerated kidney, that just sounds painful. All right, so this day, Philly sports history, obviously the big one is the Fog Bowl. I'm not going to go into that because, one, my stress level cannot handle it. I don't feel like going back to that place that I was. But if you want to hear more about the Fog Bowl, go to Back to the Future. That was this week's episode. Gave a very in-depth idea as to what would have happened had that fog not come in. So Back to the Future with a PH, wherever you get your podcasts, and you'll be able to hear about the Fog Bowl. But yes, this is the 34th anniversary of that. But instead, we're going to go more of a positive note. We're going to go back to the year 2000. So December 31st, year 2000, it was Andy Reid's second year as the Eagles coach. Donovan McNabb's first year as a starter. The Eagles went 11-5 in 2001. They finished a game behind the Giants, which back then the team they just could not beat them. They had their number for whatever reason, but that was also the pickle juice game when they opened the season with Dallas, where they crushed them. And all the Eagles players drank pickle juice before the game because of it being so hot in Dallas. Donovan McNabb had MVP talk. I was living in East Falls, so I would go to, and you've heard me mention this bar a lot or a couple times so far on the podcast, but Billy Murphy's Irish Saloon. I used to just walk down and watch all the Eagles games. I had like my crew. But on this day in 2000, they were in their first playoff game in quite a while. I had gotten tickets. If you guys remember, you used to be able to go to Boscov's to get tickets to games. So everybody's waiting in line, camping out, and doing whatever. I woke up. Boscov's, I think, opened at 9:30. Walked in. It was like it was either Granite Run or Springfield Mall in Delaware County. But either way, walked back. It was like back this little side hallway, and I got better tickets by waking up, sleeping in, and going to Boscov's than people who are waiting in line all night or whatever. And yes, I've done that before. That's a good experience, but I got better seats. Anyway, So that my crew at Murph's were very disappointed. I wasn't the old people that I used to hang out with at Murph's. Were very disappointed I wasn't going to be watching the game with them. But on this day at the vet, the Eagles beat the Buccaneers 21-3. Donovan McNabb ran for a touchdown, threw two more to Nay Brown and Jeff Thomason. There's two names for you. But the defense was a story. They sacked Sean King 4 times, had him force a fumble, and it was cold. And there's a bizarre stat that people really bought into because it just kept hitting every time, where the Buccaneers wouldn't win if the game temperature, the game temperature was like 40 degrees or less, or 41 degrees and under. And this one, and this is the second time I believe this year, or whatever it was, but the Eagles always seemed to beat them when it was 40 degrees or less. That's going to come in to play in a few weeks when we discuss that game and that fiasco. But more on that later. This game was a very boring game by any stretch of the imagination. 21-3, the Eagles just dominated, but it was fun to be at, and this was the game that led us as a season ticket group to getting season tickets. Yes, it looked a lot different now than it did back then, but I just remember sitting there in that game in whatever state of mind I was in and saying, this is incredible. The new stadium's going to open. The Eagles are going to get good, because you could see the potential in that team. You could see that Donovan and Andy were going to lead them they were going to be a good team for a long time, and I wanted to be a part of it. So went back to my fraternity house for a New Year's Eve party and had a blast. Don't remember much, but I've seen a couple pictures, so it kind of proves it. But I just remember two things waking up on New Year's Day, and that was, why is my head shaved? And, all right, let's get this going. Who wants Eagle season tickets? And still don't know why my head was shaved, but here we are 22 years later, and we have Eagle season tickets. There's actually a picture of me on stage with my one buddy's band and another couple buddies with shaved heads singing, I guess it was Twisted Sister, We're Not Going to Take It. But we got the Eagles tickets out of it. So things you do when you're young and just crazy. But this day in Philly sports history, the NFC Wildcard game, Donovan and Andy's first playoff win together, a 21-3 win over the Buccaneers. They would go on to have lots and lots of success, especially in the postseason, which we're going to be talking about a lot over the next few weeks. So look forward to that. If you're going out tonight, be safe. I don't even know if people still go out anymore, just because I'm old and COVID, and I don't know what people do on New Year's Eve anymore. However, will be watching the Michigan game. Go Blue. Yes, this is a Philly podcast, so that's why I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do and talk about Michigan. But go Blue. They covered the spread tonight, and we're playing for the national championship next week. But enjoy whatever you're doing tonight. I wish everyone a very happy, healthy, safe New Year. Thank you for continuing to listen. I look forward to a lot of big things happening in 2023. Go have yourselves a New Year's Eve, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.